Food Institute is. I just want you to imagine more of what we could do. So how will we feed 10 billion people by 2050? Like, that's what we know. That's the trajectory of our population on this planet. How are we going to do it sustainably, efficiently, and safely for everyone, for all living creatures on the planet? If we continue doing what we're going to do, it's not going to happen. We're not going to be able to meet those needs using traditional agricultural methods right now. And that's really what's at the heart of the Good Food Institute. So really quickly, just think about it. What more could we be doing to feed sustainably or feed the planet? What do you think?
Greenhouses.
Greenhouses, yeah, absolutely. Sustainable and regenerative agriculture. What else you have in mind?
Policy shifts that will encourage the growth of industries that are better for us and the environment.
Yeah, we definitely have antiquated policy structures, subsidy structures that kind of maintain the status quo, the current system that's in place. What else? Yeah. I have one more and then I'll go on. Using smaller spaces more efficiently? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, absolutely. And so these are the questions that we have at the Good Food Institute, and we're always thinking about it. We have quite a few scientists there that are looking into this project as well. The other thing about this, we're going to have a lot of people on this planet. Protein consumption at its minimum is set to double in consumption by then as well. That's at the minimum it's going to set to double. All right. So the Good Food Institute, we are a global nonprofit think tank that supports protein diversification technology. So what that means is we don't actually do any research or product development. We support the industry as a whole, the alternative protein industry. I hate the word alternative protein. They're working on, the marketing and consumer, things about that, changing the names. I like future protein or future-proof protein, but no one listens to me. All right, we have 3 departments at the Good Food Institute called Science and Technology, which is actually what I work in. So Science and Technology is focused on the research and the development of these products. How can we enable agriculture, meat scientists, and folks like that for better research for alternative proteins? Corporate engagement, we work with about 1,400 companies globally that are doing this work across the spectrum of alternative proteins and policy. We have a policy team that is actually our one team that has an actual office in Washington, D.C., trying to work for favorable policy. So one of those policies, for example, because I live in Indiana, I had to go down to the Indiana State Legislature and testify against a couple of bills that Indiana just passed in the 2025 legislature to ban cultivated meat. All right? Cultivated meat, you for or against it? Yeah. Well, Indiana banned it, but we're going to talk about cultivated meat because it is an option for future of protein in many ways. Yeah, so Indiana banned it. Or they tried to, labeling laws are also the other thing with some of this product, that we want to make sure that the consumers get all the information they have for it. All right, so like I said, I'm in science and technology. So the other reason we're looking at it is our planetary resources are just way out of balance when we look at it right now currently. The Earth's surface, we have 29% land, but it just keeps whittling down and down with what we do. A lot of our agriculture goes to livestock, all right, and the sustainment of livestock. Only 23% of our agricultural land is actually for crops, and of that, a lot of those crops go to feed the animals, all right? So, and some of it goes towards meat and dairy and plant-based food, but a lot of it goes towards our livestock. So we're not using our planet as efficiently as we could. All right, so those are things that we're trying to look at. And a lot of water gets used up in this current method that we're trying to do. So we're trying to also reduce the amount of fresh water consumption that is used by industry. All right, like I said, global meat demand shows no sign of slowing. And we don't want it to. We all love meat, right? We love meat, egg, dairy. Everyone loves meat, egg, dairy. And we have a lot of countries, emerging economies, that are wanting, hey, we want meat now too, all right? We have the money, we have the infrastructure, we want meat too. But if we have to, try to feed more and more people, again, it's going to destroy the planet. So we're trying to find better ways to try to feed all these folks. All right? So early research into the environmental benefits of alternative proteins are really, really good. Plant-based meat can provide the same amount of meat with 89% less impact on the environment on average. So if we don't expect you, trust me, we don't expect you to transition to all plant-based meat. But if everyone did, it would be 89% less impact on the environment. So it's one of those imagine more for the planet. If that actually happened, what would the planet look like? Yeah. Alternative protein technologies have huge benefits for national security as well. All right, they require fewer inputs, supply chains, reduce susceptibility to animal disease. So I mean, we've seen this just within the past few years. You know, beef prices are going through the roof. Last year, egg prices were going through the roof. You know, those are issues, and they're of national security issues as well. If we have to keep going to other countries for products, that becomes an issue. All right. These can offer small-scale localized production capabilities. So if you look at these fermenters or tanks, they can be set up just about anywhere. I mean, if you've seen a brewery, you've seen a fermenter, and you've seen something that we could make meat in, potentially. So they can be set up anywhere. So some of these in the past have been defense funding initiatives because we want to be able to feed our warfighters better meat, all right? Or fresher meat, if possible, instead of MREs. So those are some issues. So what are they? These are the diversified proteins that the Good Food Institute supports. So we support plant-based. Our biggest is the plant-based meat. We see the biggest outcome possible there. Cultivated meat, that's a long way away. And we know it's a contentious issue right now, especially for, you know, dairy farmers or cattle ranchers or things like that. And again, I grew up on a farm in Indiana. We raised goats and chickens. All right, so I support this. So there's Good Food Institute gets some contentiousness with it, but I don't think it's intended. It's just poor communication, probably on our part, honestly, because this is my first time being here when we should have been here 10 years ago, things like that. Yeah, so cultivated meat, lab-grown meat is we don't like that term because it sounds bad. Yeah, you got it now. Yeah. And please ask questions if a topic comes up. I'm fine with it. We're a small group, so we can be more interactive. I definitely want you to ask questions as I go. I prefer it. And then fermentation. Fermentation is actually the one that I'm super excited about because we're able to take microbes, mix them with a fungus, ferment it, and produce proteins with that. Be able to produce things that taste a whole heck of a lot like meat right now. Or we have a company called Nature's Find. They found a microbe in a hot spring in Yellowstone, mixed it with a fungus that made a protein that tastes just like dairy. So now they have yogurt. Nature's Find, you can find it in like Fresh Time or Fresh Market, any like the Amazon one. They're like $4 for a carton, so it's pretty expensive. Tastes just like regular yogurt, and it has more protein in it, and it's from a fungus. Yes?
Are there any synthetic additives for the fermented?
For the fermented, no. Most of them can stay pretty natural, and even that yogurt, it's mostly natural and flavored with natural flavorings. Yeah. Now, some of these others, like the plant-based meat especially, and I say this and I get my wrist slapped every now and then when I say this, it's not a health food. You know, I think a lot of people, when they went and bought the Impossible Patty and made hamburgers with it, like, this is so much healthier. Like, it is a little bit, because there's fiber in it and there's complex carbs and things like that. Probably some plant nutrients in it that you don't get from beef, but it's not a health food. It's still high in sodium, high in fat. Yeah.
I have another meeting I need to go to. I just added one comment to this. This is good, but how about better use of existing resources? So right now, there's a huge issue. We're spending a lot of money on raising carp, invasive species, but it's a great protein source, and God's given food.
Yeah.
And we're trying to spend money trying to kill them, trying to do so why not just use them as our protein source?
Yeah, and that's possible. Maybe somebody's working on that.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, maybe that's something you could turn into a business and.
I have
Yeah.
I'll come back.
Okay, good.
We want to ask if you all have questions, speak louder so we can all hear and be part of the conversation.
Oh, and I should repeat the question too. Yep. Yeah, so these are the ones that we support. All right, so this is what our research aims. So like I said, I'm in science and technology. We're trying to support researchers, professors, industry. I specifically am trying from kindergarten through college to try to build awareness. And that's why I'm here, is try to build awareness of this, because there's going to be good jobs, good pay. All right, and we need a ton of scientists that are working on this. So we want to encourage it. But at the heart of all this is we're trying to increase functional and nutritional protein and ingredient sources. We're trying to make these ingredients taste and feel like meat. And we're trying to make the products cheaply and efficiently. All right? This isn't your bean burger or veggie burger. We don't support those. We're supporting companies that are trying to produce a meat from plants, an actual meat mimic, that the sensory and everything in it makes you feel like you're eating meat. And we have a few things that have been shown that they're close. Through consumer taste testing, the Impossible Patty is pretty close to a regular hamburger at this point. I wouldn't eat it by itself, but if you put all the fixins on it, it tastes great. The Impossible Whopper, yes?
You talk about taste, but how does it, like, in your gut health and your body, how does it respond to all this?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think that's probably individual to people, you know, because it's one of those. My wife actually, she had, you know, the beta gal that she couldn't eat beef. She would get really, really sick when she would eat beef. So she was able to eat the Impossible, but not beef. So, and it's just individual, I think. And there are some products that probably have different effects on your stomach as well. Because there's one product that's, and I'll show it with you in a little bit, one of my favorites. It's called corn, and it's created through fermentation. It's a real clean protein, high in protein, very, very low in fat. Doesn't really have a flavor, but you can add flavors to it, mix it with spaghetti sauce or in chilies and things like that, and it's very spot on. But it does have some GI issues on people, all right?